I was at SHOT Show this year walking the halls and a guy came up and stopped me and said, I have a new product. I promise you have to see it. It's good. It was a new chronograph to record the speed of a bullet. He said, we can record BB guns and arrows as slow as things like that, but we don't honestly know how fast of a bullet we can record. It was this product, because we don't have anything that shoots faster than kind of a standard hunting rifle, 3,000 feet per second. And I said, boy, am I the guy for you. So this is a 300 Win Mag case, right? That's a huge column of powder. You can put 80 grains of gunpowder in there. And usually it'll shoot a heavy bullet. It's for hunting, 180, 200 grains, something like that for that column of powder. Well, today, check this out. We're shooting that itty bitty little bullet. Huge column of powder, itty bitty working space. This thing's gonna go crazy fast. So we're gonna test both the lab radar, the industry standard, and see if it can be beat by this new FX Outdoors chronograph. Gotta set a little bit of a foundation for this to make sense with the fastest bullet. So first of all, this pistol is one I'm super stoked to be shooting. This is, oh, angels are about to sing. This is the brand new Matrix Arms MXI pistol. This is a more competition focused, heavy 9mm pistol. We're going to use this just as an example of what your typical handgun ammunition would do. So while we're getting that set up, we're going to turn on both chronographs so that we can be testing these. Lab radar did not get it, and the FX chronograph got 1,255. There's a reason that I wanted to start this video by talking about a pistol, to highlight the fact that speed is really not the goal of every cartridge design. A pistol, because it's a shorter range weapon, the speed would really give us the advantage of shooting flat, that the bullet doesn't drop very much and we don't have to compensate. But because a pistol's not very accurate, it wouldn't do much good, so it'd be better to have a heavier bullet. But there are some cool options out there, like this Simex ammo that I highlighted in the ammo of the future. That bullet is made of plastic, so it can shoot at 2,250 feet per second. That's getting close to a hunting rifle, which is what's up next. Oh man, this pistol is so nice to shoot. The trigger is beautiful, and there's just so low recoil. You can see how little muzzle flip there is. This is a heavy gun, which is a good thing for a competition-focused gun. You want it to be very dead in the hand. It's got a great Timney trigger there. Comes with a couple magazines. The stippling right here is super grippy. I am absolutely in love with this thing. I'd love to take a couple pistol classes, and I think this is going to be my teacher. Now we're worked up to a hunting rifle. This is 6.5 Creedmoor. This one, is more of a competition-focused gun, but the same cartridge that we would use in a typical hunting rifle. I had to change my settings on the lab radar. The FX should just be good to go with whatever we throw at it. 2807, 2801. They're very consistent, but the lab radar is always showing a tiny bit faster. That doesn't really, we don't know which one is correct. Most important thing is the consistency, I feel like. So as I'm editing this, I realized I should have addressed something that maybe some of you are asking. Isn't it pretty easy to make a cartridge go faster? I mean, just make a bigger case so you can put more gunpowder in it and then the bullet goes faster. But then you look at all of the hunting cartridges and pretty much all of them are between 2,600 feet per second and 3,000 feet per second. Very few go faster than that. And the question is why? Well, there's a downside to velocity. One is the recoil, of course, when it hits your shoulder, but also the barrel life. The very, very fast cartridges wear out the barrel faster because of all that pressure and gunpowder in the barrel. In fact, you're going to see a little bit later when we go to the fastest bullet how much muzzle flash fire there is coming out of the end of the barrel because not all of that powder burned up while it was in the barrel. So that's why they find kind of that sweet spot is a longer barrel life and a more tame rifle to shoot. So now we're taking a very unique hunting rifle. The fastest commercial cartridges out there are these. And you'll notice of all the fastest commercial cartridges out there, they're almost all 22 caliber. They're shooting tiny little bullets really fast. And this is among them. This is one of the very fastest you can get. 22-250 is awesome for hunting coyotes. Let's see if we get a reading here. All right, FX says 3,664 feet per second. That is screaming. The lab radar didn't get a reading, probably because we're using a silencer on this, and the lab radar really struggles with it. You can buy a couple aftermarket parts with a cord to make it work, but if you have a silencer, the lab radar can be really frustrating. But now we get into the cool stuff. Are you ready? These are where the story is really about. So we've taken the big 300 Win Mag case, then we add a little plastic insert called a sabot, and what that does is it allows the bigger brass to fit with the smaller bullet. And we're gonna put this in the 300 Win Mag. Now it's time to see the fastest bullet. Each one of these loads has one more grain of powder, and we'll see how high we can go here. A little bit nervous here. Woo! Yikes! Okay, nobody got a velocity on that thing. I'm a little bit concerned we may not see velocities because the plastic is shooting out and the bullet, and we don't know, these don't know which to record, and so it could mess them up. Woo-hoo-hoo! According to the load data, this should give us 4,600 feet per second. We're going pretty close to a mile per second with 300 Win Mag. Are you ready for this? Let's go. Ah! Oh man, that is crazy. The recoil honestly feels like nothing because the bullet's so light, but that is 4,600 feet per second with a 300 Win Mag. That is just about as fast as you can possibly go with a bullet. Now, we have a little bit of fun to do here. There was a company that made a mistake. See, companies shouldn't advertise things that they know people like us are gonna test. This Stanley thermos made the mistake of saying that Stanley bottles have survived -70-degree wind chill, 4,000 foot drops, category 5 hurricanes. But speeding bullets? No, you can't just claim things like that. Okay, we're juicing it up for this one. We're going to 4,900 feet per second versus the Stanley thermos that can stop a speeding bullet. Why would they say that? Nailed it! Yeah, stop a speeding bullet. I say no. So the way that these work, to get almost 5,000 feet per second, we're shooting a little 22 caliber bullet. This little plastic insert's from E. Arthur Brown Co. And then if you're a reloader, it allows you to take your 30 caliber case and load a 22 caliber projectile in it. You gotta be very careful with these. But they are shooting so fast that at 500 yards, this thing is only dropping 14 inches, whereas 6.5 Creedmoor might drop 48 at the same distance. Pretty crazy. But I want to talk a little bit about the chronographs, because if you are getting into the speed and monitoring it, if you're doing load development, man, having a chronograph is such an awesome tool for hunters to be able to get your ballistics, everything. So the cheapest, $150, you can get those kind of sky screen ones. I just haven't found them to be reliable at all. The ones that I have owned, and so I would probably just skip those. The cheapest one you can get into is the Magneto Speed. I usually see them around, $400 kind of price point, where you strap it onto the end of the barrel. They're very accurate, they're good, but you can't do the accuracy testing at the same time as you're getting velocities, because now you have a weight on the end of your barrel. It changes everything. So they are good, and if you're looking for a cheap way to get in there, that's there. If you're looking for the creme de la creme, it's gonna be between these two. This FX Outdoors is brand new on the market, just hit. I've had this one for a couple months and I've been able to test it out for a while. This video is not sponsored by FX, but they did send it to me and I can say whatever I feel like about it. But honestly, it's kind of no contest, I feel like. I really feel like the FX Outdoors chronograph is a step ahead. It is more expensive than the Lab Radar. This goes, I think it's around $999, a little bit more expensive than the Lab Radar. But I've wasted over $1,000 of ammo on the Lab Radar because The battery has the AA's that run out very quick. Most people will get an external battery, which I do, and you're strapping it to the side. So it's just kind of annoying that it doesn't just have a working battery. Then it won't work with suppressors hardly at all. You got to get an accessory kind of cord that goes over to make it kind of work. And if you don't have it pointed perfectly, it doesn't. So I've just wasted a ton of ammo on it. The thing that I love about the FX Outdoors is you press on and then you start shooting and you aim it, but honestly, you don't have to be that perfect. It's just so forgiving to get a good accuracy. So for me, I really feel like it's kind of no contest, new king of the hill. I'm liking this FX Outdoors chronograph. Thanks for joining me on a Backfire video. We have seen the world's fastest bullets versus a Stanley. I don't have anything else to say.